Hello, welcome to RC Video Reviews. In today's video, we're taking a look at the SkyTrainer 182 from FMS. Before I get into the content, I do need to let you know this video is sponsored by FMS, who sent me the SkyTrainer for review. And I also need to let you know we're in the middle of a beginner series on the channel in partnership with FMS. At the end of the series, there's going to be a massive live stream with a whole bunch of giveaways. We're giving away airplanes, coupon codes, merchandise. It's going to be an event. So keep an eye on the channel for the live stream, which will be on Saturday, July 22nd at 1900 Eastern Time. That's GMT -5 if you're outside the US. I'd like to say thanks to FMS for sponsoring this series and for sending me this plane for review. With that out of the way, I'll talk a little bit about the assembly and then we're going to go fly. Bottom line on the assembly, very easy on this plane. One of the things that I thought was actually kind of cool is they have a little bit of a shroud in there for the wiring. So as the wires come in from the wing, there's a shroud in there that hides them. You tuck the wires down through the shroud, they come out in the bottom, and it keeps the interior of the cockpit nice and clean looking. That was really cool. You are going to need some kind of snake to fish your wires around because they drop in through the top of the plane and then they come out in one compartment and you got to pull them through to another one in order to get everything connected. Another really cool thing about this plane is that front nose gear is actually an oleo. It compresses. I was surprised. I thought it was decorative, but nope, it compresses. And that's it. As far as the assembly goes, there is really nothing to this plane. Very easy to do. You have to glue a couple of parts on the wings for the wing struts, their wing strut captures, and that's it. The vertical stabilizer is glued in, and most of the rest of the plane was set up, including the Reflex V2 gyro. We will be testing that today, but if you take a look at the flag over there, there's nothing happening, so I really don't think we're going to see what the gyro is capable of on stabilized mode. Obviously on auto level mode, we'll give that a go as well, and I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. I also want to mention that I put one of the navigation lights on the belly. I'm aware that's not what it's supposed to be, green on the belly. I get it. This is just for demo purposes. I didn't want to use them all on the plane. I just want to see it in the air with the green. I picked green because I figured out of all of them, that's probably a harder one to see, although the human eye does see green better. But anyway, I picked green, so that's what we're using. It's just to test it out and see how it goes. I did get a question in the video about how long these navigation lights run, and I timed them for just over an hour, just a little bit over an hour. Last thing I'll tell you guys is that I've been asked for my radio configuration for this plane. I will cover the radio configuration during the live stream. That's going to be a segment in a live stream. We're going to talk about my radio configuration, so make sure you're on the live stream if you want to see how I got the Edge TX settings going for this airplane. All right, let's fly it. Man, it is hot today. I hope you guys love us. We are putting in the time. It's like 95 degrees with 150% humidity. It is absolutely nuts. Okay, here we go with the maiden flight of the FMS SkyTrainer 182. I'll be taking off without flaps, and I'm going to be on mid rates. I'm not going to do high rates, just mid rates for this one. And here we go. All right, does need a little trim. It's going to be instant trim to the rescue. I love instant trim. What a great feature. I hope you guys have been following the series on beginner planes by FMS. Make sure you check the links in the description. I've got links for a big sale going on the FMS website. I've also got affiliate links for the airplanes I'll be flying in this series. My first comment is, look at that green light. Holy cow. I don't know if Dave's going to be able to see it, but boy, I can see it. It is very, very bright. And what a lovely little flying plane. I've got it trimmed out now, and it's just what you'd expect out of a little Cessna like this. Just a very casual flyer, easy nature, easy to see, very easy plane to fly. All right, I've got it trimmed up now. Let's do a couple of maneuvers. I'm gonna gain a little bit of altitude, put it into high rates. We're gonna do a couple of things. We'll try some inverted first. Not bad. It started to pitch down, but I gave it a little bit of down elevator and it recovered fine. It wasn't too aggressive either, so no problems there. All right, let's do a little bit of a loop.
7 minutes.
Very nice loop, no problems there. I'm gonna do my CG test by climbing up in a 45 going inverted and letting go of the sticks. Yeah, nose down. Yep, that is definitely trainer oriented, no doubt. No sign of being tail heavy there. All right, and we'll do a yaw test as well. Let's just check the yaw. We're gonna go straight up in the air, kill the power and see which way it drops. Slight drop to the left, so a couple clicks right, and that's all it needs. I'll try it one more time. I've got a little bit of a breeze that kicked in from my right, so I'll fly into the wind for this one. Okay, and there we go, straight down, perfect. Now the last thing I want to do is a stall test, so I'll bring it around and I'm trying to put it in a frame so Dave can get a good look at it. So here we go with the stall. Being a Cessna, this thing should stall really gracefully. Yeah, it does, look at that. Barely a break. So very, very nice. All right, that wraps up the maiden testing that I have for the plane. I'm gonna do a couple little flybys for Dave so he can get some film. I think regarding the motor power, it's sufficient for a trainer. It's not overbearing, it's not overpowering, it's nothing frightening about it, that's for sure. I wouldn't consider this an exceptionally fast or overpowered plane. I think it's just about right for a trainer, which is what you want. Yeah, very good. All right, I know Dave is gonna be highly disappointed in me if I don't do some touch and go. So I'm gonna put some flaps in. I've got mid flaps, ooh, little balloon up. That's gonna need a mix. I don't know if you saw that, Dave, but boy, it did pop up with flaps.
Yeah, they need a mix on the flaps.
Yeah, that one needs a mix, no doubt about it. And it's still floating. Yeah, that needs a mix. So flaps coming up, I'm just gonna land it without them. I mean, I could handle it with elevator, but why fight it, especially on my first landing? I'd rather do something that looks a little better for you guys. So let's do a touch and go. Like I said, if I didn't do a touch and go on this plane, Dave would lose all respect for me.
This is a touch and go airplane.
Whoa,
All right.
little bounce, little bounce.
First one.
Yep, first one. So that's the thing, guys. That's a good lesson. When you're doing these touch and goes with planes, if you see something you don't like, don't be afraid to add a little power and climb out. Don't punish the plane by forcing a bad situation, right? All right, we'll try it again. Oh, same thing, same exact thing. Interesting. All right, that just tells me I need a little bit more power and I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with a little bit of flaps, but look at that balloon up. Yeah, that definitely climbs with the flaps, no doubt about it. So that's okay, I'm gonna treat it like a real plane. It's gonna fly scale, let's fly it. Nose it down, come on airplane. There we go.
Nice.
That was with a little bit of flaps. And I'm running out of runway, I don't wanna push my luck, so I'll just turn it around and we'll come back and we'll call that that's called a stop and go, is what that's called. The flaps will come up. It does look scale, I'll give it that. That's kind of cool. So what I'm finding on this plane, which is very interesting to me, is it does seem to like flaps for landing. I only put them on half flaps, but keep in mind, you're gonna need a little bit of down elevator mix for that because it does balloon. And by the way, that is scale. That's the way it works in a regular plane. They will do that. So you normally wind up trimming down a little bit when you deploy flaps. It's not unusual. That is a normal characteristic. All right, one more, let's do one more takeoff and landing. Perfect, lovely. Yeah, if you're a beginner, this is definitely a nice plane. Easy natured on the ground. The only thing I'd say that would be, for some, maybe a little unusual, is the flaps actually behave like flaps. They actually help the plane and they make the flight characteristics feel very familiar to me. All right, there we go. Maiden flight of the FMS Skytrainer 182. That is a pretty cool looking plane. I have to admit, that just brings back memories from when I was actually becoming a licensed pilot. Looks just like the planes I used to fly. Very,
Yep.
very nice.
It sure does. Very nice.
All right, we'll get it on the table and wrap this one up. All right, the Skytrainer 182 flew just like I'd expect a plane like this to fly. It's a trainer style plane, very graceful in the sky. The flaps were actually very functional, very familiar feeling to me. I would say out of all the airplanes I've flown, these flaps felt like real flaps more than any other model I've ever flown. because they did exactly what you see on a normal plane. They increase lift and drag together, and you are forced to push that nose down a little bit, and that's exactly how a normal plane behaves. So a little bit of a mix if you don't want to fight with the elevator, but no problems there. In terms of the battery, we came down at 3.86 in 8 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't think the sunlight's going to allow the camera to capture that, but I'll put it there just in case. We got 8 minutes and 40 seconds on flight time and 3.86 on the batteries. Thanks again to FMS for sending this plane out for review. If you want to pick one up for yourself, there'll be an affiliate link in the description. Don't forget to check out the live stream coming up on Saturday, July 22nd. If you like this kind of content, make sure you smash that thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell so you know new videos hit the channel. YouTube should recommend another video for you right about now. That's all I've got for today. Take it easy. You are going to need some kind of wire to... You are going to need some kind of fish hook. What do you call those? It's a wire that you use with a hook to fish your wires through. What do you call that?
Well, one's a snake.
A snake. That'll do. You are going to need some kind of wiring snake to manipulate the wires inside.